right, let's get to this. Go ahead. I know you all need to get back. Yeah, it's what we expected. Excellent football team in Michigan State, physical, great defense. We knew it was going to be this kind of football game. Somebody was going to have to score, a touchdown in the fourth quarter, and we were able to get the touchdown and hold them from scoring one. And that's really what I envisioned the game. That's the way we called the game. I mean, I was telling my athletic director, boy, I wanted to throw the ball so bad in those last few drives, but we felt like we wanted to put our defense back on the field and not give Michigan State, because they've been so opportunistic defensively, an opportunity to win the football game on defense. So it's the way we constructed the game, found a way to win.
Brian, how would you explain your team's ability to consistently win close games?
Just tough-minded group, We've got that instilled within our kids, the way we coach them, the way we go to practice, the way we work day in and day out. It's the way we want them to play the game, and we talk about it. I mean, we came into this week knowing and respecting the way Coach D'Antonio plays the game and his team. They're tough and physical, and we had to match that. So we knew what we were getting into. But we talk about it and expect it from our team.
Brian, defensively, did you feel like you got some things cleaned up today from the last couple weeks, tackling, assignments, fundamentals, that kind of?
Yeah, and as you know, we had been alluding to the fact that we've made some changes, and we think that it's starting to come together. And it's hard for it to all be there in the first 4 weeks when you're playing 3 Big Ten teams in a row. But you could sense it. The pass rush was better. There was more pressure. We were on body a lot better. Assignment was much better. We gave up 30 yards, 45 yards in penalties that we'd like to have, eradicated. But definitely you could sense a feeling of confidence that defense is starting to come together.
Brian, could you talk about your depth on defense a little bit, specifically Kona's game, and also you had a stretch where you had 2 freshman corners on the field, pretty key stretch late in the game.
Yeah, we played a lot of freshmen on both sides of the ball. We were on the field a lot, as you know. If you look at the breakdown, I think it was almost 10 minutes there late in the game. Jerron Jones played quite a bit, too, on the defensive line. Again, it's kind of how we've put this team together, is that we need to count on the depth, especially in this freshman class.
And then offensively, you mentioned you really wanted to throw the ball there late, but chose to run down the clock. About this time or a little bit later last season, your running game started to kick in. Do you see any signs that it's going there, or is this just going to be a different type of offense and a different type of team?
Well, that was all. You can call it what you want, and I'm sure Michigan State has different feelings, but that's all man-to-man. I know it's quarter coverage, and that's how it's talked about, but that's man-to-man. Those safeties are downhill. Those linebackers are in the box. That's 9 guys that are all hawking the run game. It's tough sledding in there. You got to win throwing the football against Michigan State. You're not going to win running the football against them. We missed a lot of opportunities in the first half. We were not we missed the chances that we had early on, and then the way the game went, we were going to run the football, and they took a lot of time off the clock in the third quarter. We chose to take the win, or play against the win in the third quarter and take the win in the fourth. So we were just playing that game in the second half.
Brian, over here, the changes you did make to the lineup on defense, talk a little bit about the thinking behind that. All those guys still played.
Yeah.
But you had Grace and Calabrese in there. You started Shoemate and Collinsworth, not Matthias.
Yeah, again, and I think if you look at their reps, and I don't have it in front of me, they all played a great deal of football. We're just trying to get the right mix and the right lineup and the right guys in the right place. but I wouldn't say that we're at that point where we're definitely sold that we've got the 11 guys in the right place. We think we're closer. We still have to do a little bit more work, but everybody now knows what's expected of them. I want to be careful what I say here. What we wanted to do more than anything else is let these kids know what our expectations of them are and how they play that position. So they're all playing at a higher level because we set some clear expectations, and we saw that today.
Is Matthias healthy, or is he?
He's healthy.
He's fully healthy.
Yep.
Okay. And just offensively, you don't throw or plan to throw to draw pass interference penalties, but
I'm sorry, say that again.
offensively, you don't throw or draw up a play to draw a pass interference penalty. But is there an advantage offense there in some ways, the way the rules are, where if you throw it up, not only do you have your guys have a good chance of getting it, but you may also have the advantage when
Absolutely,
it comes to that?
no question. When you're when you know that the quarterback is going to throw it back shoulder, and the defensive back does not know where it is, you have an advantage in that situation, and you're going to get some pass interference calls when you put the ball in a good position.
Brian, how would you assess the play of the secondary and specifically Matthias today?
I couldn't talk about one particular guy as much as I could talk about, overall. We were much better. Our assignments were clearly followed through much better as a unit. We had to make some adjustments on some of their spot routes. I thought we did a very good job of playing a little bit more trail coverage. We mixed things up a lot better. I thought the guys were on body when we needed to be. I just think more than anything else, assignment correct, and we got our hands on a ball. So that's key for us.
And then Corey Robinson's play today.
Well, he's a big target, and he tracks the ball so very well. And if you can keep the ball in a position where he can play 6'6", he's very difficult to defend.
Brian over here. Back to the pass interference real quickly. As those started getting called more and more, was that something that you tried to keep throwing those deep passes to draw those penalties? Was that a plan going into the game?
No, we want to complete them, but we were getting pulled and tugged, and we just felt like the only way you're going to complete passes against Michigan State, as I mentioned to you before, is it's one-on-one. It's all man-to-man. You can call it whatever you want. It's man-to-man coverage. It's one-on-one. Safeties are downhill, filling in run support. The backers are playing the run. And on the outside, it's a one-on-one situation, and they're fighting for the football.
And Sheldon Day dressed today, but it didn't look like was he kind of an emergency situation guy?
Yeah, I would consider it. I mean, he could have played today. He would not have been 100%. We think we'll get him at 100% next week.
Coach, over here. A lot of penalties. Neither offense played great. Can you talk about how just an ugly win is still a win at the end of the day?
Yeah, I would characterize it a little bit differently. I think both defenses really, carried the day here today, and I think Michigan State has a great defense, and they're very difficult to play against in so many fashions. I think 31 is probably one of the best corners that we've gone against. And I've seen them all. They're just a very difficult defense, and I thought, we played very well today up front, and getting 3-man pressure and 4-man pressure up front is obviously, when you can do that, you can drop a lot of guys in coverage. So I think the defense has had a lot to do with today's ball game. But if you would have asked me last week about what this kind of game was going to be, it wasn't going to be a beauty contest. I felt like it was going to be this kind of game.
Brian, over here. Did you feel like the interception on the halfback pass maybe was somewhat of a turning point, a big momentum builder? Did you sense that on the sideline?
Anytime you pick off a pass in a drive, it's a definite momentum builder for your football team, and certainly anytime you get a turnover. That's why it was so important for us to not turn the ball over in the fourth quarter. I thought Tommy did a good job, even in, when we scored in the fourth quarter, he threw the ball away. when he didn't get the look that he wanted and a couple of times in the red zone. So taking care of the football was an absolute premium today. We did, and they did not in that situation. It was big for us.
And Stefan coming in and getting that sack, was that almost the kind of?
Well, it was good to see. It was good to see Stefan to it. He's rounding into the kind of shape that we all wanted him to be in. We're getting that push. We're seeing that from Shumbo. We're starting to see those guys really, start to round into that kind of presence that we saw last year, and it's getting better.
Brian, right here to your left. Kyle Brenza, I realize he missed one field goal, but can you talk about the weapon he's turned into?
Well, he
as
got
far
the
as
game ball for us. He flipped field position for us in the fourth quarter, which to me was as important as anything that happened today, pinning Michigan State back twice in field position that tilted the field in our favor and allowed them on a longer field. So, you never want a punt blocked, and it's the first one that we've had since we've been here, and it was just, it was just a poor effort situation. And those don't normally end well when you have a punt blocked. But he battled through it and came up with two great punts in the fourth quarter for us.
Coach over here, to see Tommy under 50% completion percentage is a rarity. He's usually a pretty accurate passer.
Yeah.
I mean, he seemed like he was pressing in the first half. I mean, can you attribute to what?
He just missed open receivers. Yeah, I mean we had guys open. He just didn't hit them. He's not going to shy away from it. He had guys open. He didn't connect. This was not a hitch, spot, screen, bubble, high percentage game. This is grip it and rip it. This is the kind of game it was. And you're going to hit big plays. You're going to score some touchdowns. So throw the completion percentage out. You're either going to make some plays or you're not. We had our chances to make some big plays, and we didn't cash in on them when we had our chances.
Coach, whether you pass or run, how important is for your system Troy Niklas as a blocker?
That's a good question. Very, very important. As you know, he is part of not only our blocking, but he's a great tight end who can catch footballs for us, but he also is part of our protections as well. I thought we did a very good job today of picking up pressures and stunts and gave Tommy a chance to complete a lot of balls. And obviously his percentage wasn't where we wanted to be. Picked up some key third down situations when Troy was called in to block. He's a guy that does a lot of jobs for us.
Okay. And in the fourth quarter, when the offense found a rhythm running the ball, how would you motivate, or what would you expect from your offensive line in the future, or for the next game?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I've been saying earlier, is you're just trying to carve out an existence in the run game against a defense like this. You got to run it well enough to win the game, and we ran it in the red zone to score a touchdown. We were third and short a couple of times. We just couldn't convert. You got to be efficient enough to win football games. That's what I'm looking for in our running game, efficient enough to win games.